Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with the topic session with my guy, Harper II. Man, it's always a good time. It's been a minute since we've done a topic session, but it's always a treat when the good guys get to meet. It's always a good time when we come together and share. But Hart, man, first I just want to say thanks for taking the time to hang out with me and be on to do this topic session. It's always heat.
Oh, definitely, man. I appreciate you for just the invitation. It's always a great time getting with you and being able to dialogue, to talk back and forth. They have real conversations, man, authentic conversations that hopefully will not only bless us while we're in it, but hopefully be a blessing to those who are listening too. So, yeah, man.
Well, let's get it, man. Well, the topic we're going to talk about today is change and setbacks. And so, man, I think those are two words. Like when I said them, man, it gave me chills because like those are both like deep words. I don't care who you are, you're going to have some change. I don't care who you are, you're going to have some setbacks in your life. And so I think the sooner we can have some systems in place to help us with those changes and setbacks, because they're going to come, right? They're going to come, right? And have those systems in place, the sooner we can continue to grow and progress and be a blessing to others.
No, 100%, man. 100%. Usually at the beginning of the year, people always say, I don't know what the year's going to bring, and we're kind of on edge about that. And I have a saying that I always say, I know what the year's going to bring. Every year I say that. And I say the year's going to bring opportunities, and the year's going to bring some challenges. And it's our responsibility to try to figure out how to navigate both of those well, right? To be able to receive the opportunities, take advantage of those opportunities, and to be able to navigate the challenges well. And both of those are changes, right? Whether, opposition, whether there be challenges or whether that may be an opportunity, those are changes in your life, and it causes you to adjust. It will cause you to shift, to change, to pivot. And so, like you said before, Chip, change is inevitable. And so it's our responsibility to be able to have some systems in place, to have some grounding, what's going to anchor us in the midst of those changes, in the midst of those times where we're shifting in those new seasons in our lives. And if we can't recognize that, this is a season of change, then we'll be stuck, we'll be left behind. We'll miss out on some of the blessings and some of the favor that God would want to bring into our lives simply because we're stuck in our old ways. And so it's so necessary for us to be able to have those systems in place to be able to navigate whatever challenge, and also to be able to take advantage of any opportunity that may come our way. And sometimes we think of change, we automatically think of negative. This is going to be negative, but there are some changes in our lives that are positive. There are opportunities, and if we're just afraid of change itself, then we won't take advantage of those opportunities, And so, change can be scary. Change can be scary for a number of reasons, right? Change is the unknown. It's uncomfortable. It's uncertain. It's a departure from the familiar. So anytime we do that, it can be a little scary, and we can be a little hesitant in jumping and doing that. So But I always say, man, just embrace it, man. Embrace those changes. Embrace whatever God has before you, whether that may be opportunities for growth or challenges, because that's going to allow you to become a better version of yourself as well. And so, yeah, man. I know you like to talk about systems, so I think that's a good word there. Systems, to have a
Yeah.
system set in place, a strategy in place, some tools set in place to when change comes into my life, what am I going to do about it? It's not about if, but it's about when those changes arrive.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
we
Yes,
need
sir.
systems, we need mindsets, we need some tools that are going to help us navigate those changing times.
Man, I don't know. There's a lot you hit on in there that really resonated with me. Heart, of course, like you said, I'm a systems guy. I love to have systems in place, but I think the next phase of that is the mindset piece,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Um, I think in anything, it's important to have the proper mindset with doing um what you do, and doing anything, you have to attack it. And I think like the weight analogy, and I've used this before, like uh if you're expecting to get better, uh you have to go attack that, right? You have to go attack, like it's not gonna just, you have to go get it. It's not just gonna come to you. There's this guy I know that I was checking out his social media the other day, and I saw that he was doing some steps on these steps, right? and,
Hmm.
and I was looking at that, and I was thinking, man, like you have to go attack the steps. Like the steps are going to continue to come your way, right?
Hmm.
But in order for you to be better, you have to go attack those steps and do it with a good mindset. Oh wait, that was you, huh? that, that was you, huh? Yeah, you have to go attack that with a great mindset, man. And on the other side of that, you'll feel so much better
So
about
much
what
better.
you've done because you've attacked it. Your mindset was in the right place, and you were attacking those changes and setbacks. But in looking at it all, man, I think the first thing that hits me is mindset.
No, that's a very good point, Chip. And
Yeah.
that guy you mentioned about going up those steps, well, I think he said something about not going back.
Mhm.
Not going back. And I think that's so important. No matter how slow we go, sometimes we're comparing ourselves to other people. And when we compare ourselves to other people, that's a recipe. That's a recipe for disappointment. And so the
Mhm.
idea is, what does my journey look like? What does my road look like? And while on my road, while on my journey, the key is to keep moving forward, to not give up, no matter how slow I go. Just don't go back. Because when we talk about mindset, this is whenever change comes into your life, you got to know that this is not the time to retreat into comfort or to resist the opportunity for growth, right? This is the time to remember, who am I? You know, what do I believe? What are my values? What are the eternal principles that have always guided me safely into an unpredictable future? Right? What is it that I really believe? And I have to just take a breath and say, you know what? I got this. I did it last time when change came, and I was successful then, I'll be successful now. And so those are some things that we just have to remember when change arrives. That mindset. I'm not going back. I'm not turning around. Even if it means I just take one step, one foot in front of the other. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep progressing. I'm not going to retreat. I'm not going to give in. I'm not going to surrender. I'm going to have this psychological fortitude that propels me ahead, that causes me to advance, because it's not only about me, but it's about those that are connected to me, right? Because when you change and you grow and you develop, you're pushing a bar, and others are being motivated and inspired by your willingness to adapt, to grow, to develop. And so yeah, I would just say, man, remember who you are, remember your values, remember those eternal principles that have always guided you safely into an unpredictable future anytime changes has arrived in your life. And so take a breath and realize you got it, man. Don't overthink it. So but yeah, the change is unknown, it's uncertain, it's unpredictable. It's a departure from the familiar. But what I would say is that one thing that helps me is I'm a man of faith, right? And so because of my faith, it stabilizes me, it anchors me to know that when everything in my life is changing, I can always rest assured to say, okay, the God I serve is the same, right? The God I serve is the same. While there may be a lot of moving pieces going on in my life right now, a lot of things that are uncertain, the God I serve is certain, right? And so I think with that mindset, it settles you, it anchors you, right? It causes you not to worry, not to stress, not to get uh, overly consumed by the things that are going around you. And so, uh, so there's some things in my mind that I think about, right? Okay, things are changing, but God is the same. God is still loving. You know, He still loves me. Things may be difficult right now, but God is still for me. God still cares about me. He's the same God that still cares. He's the same God that is still just, and He's the same God that
Come on,
looks
boy.
after me.
Come on.
And so when I think about those things, transitioning, whatever the transition may be for you, it may be a transition on your job. It may be a transition from one location to another location, from one city to another. And those times are difficult. Those times means that you have to adjust. And so when you just think about the reality, the amazing and comforting truth that God is the same. God is the same. And I think that will help us to endure those challenges that we go through, those transition moments. Is just the first thing is just to know that while everything is changing, the God that I serve stays the same.
It's so good. Um, there's some things on change that came up for me. Like I said, when I look at the whole change and mindset piece, I mean,
Hmm.
change and setback piece. When I
Hmm.
look at the whole change and setback piece, mindset is what comes up for me. So when you're
Mm.
looking at change, I think the first thing we have to realize is that you are in control of your destiny.
Yeah.
I think
Mm.
that's the first component. We have to really realize that, wait a minute, man, no, I'm in the driver's seat, dog.
Yeah.
No, I'm driving this thing, right? And so you are in the control of your destiny. And then the next component with change is if you don't change, then you don't change.
No, that's good. That's really good. That we're on the same page, Chip, because I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking that, for those who are on the call that have they're anchored themselves in their faith, you know, if you don't change, then you don't change. What we have to realize when we're people of faith, that change is something that we should be striving for anyway,
Right.
right? When we're connected to our God, when we're connected to the Lord, then it's like, man, God is always changing me. Chip is not the same person he was 5 years ago. Chip is not the same
Yesterday,
person. He's
I
not the
can't.
same person he was yesterday,
Yeah,
right?
that's my goal is to not be that guy.
Right, right. So when you already settle in your spirit that change is inevitable. Change is
Yeah.
something that I should be aspiring to anyway, right? When I'm connected to God, God is going to mold me. He's going to change me. He's going to develop me, right? So while there may be a lot of outside changes going on, I think a liberating truth is that I'm supposed to be changing anyway,
Mm,
right? It's like I'm supposed to be developing. I'm supposed to be
hmm
shifting. I'm supposed to be growing, right? And so sometimes we get stuck in all these changes that are being made, and I'm
mm,
resisting them, and I don't like them, and it causes us to be angry or upset or bitter when we just settle in the truth, the liberating truth that I'm supposed to be changing. I'm not supposed to stay the same, whether that's external or internal, right? It's like, yeah, a lot of things are going on around me, but internally, I'm supposed to be changing every day. I'm supposed to be being renewed daily on the inside, right? I'm supposed to be growing. And so when I recognize that and I embrace that that I'm supposed to be changing, there's a verse in Second Corinthians. It says, therefore we do not lose heart. Even though our outward man is perishing, the inward man is being renewed day by day. And so I like the first part of that where it says we don't lose heart. We don't get discouraged. We don't get, we don't feel uh, broken because of the changes that are going on around us, because we know, yes, there are going to be changes around us, changes to me physically, changes going on my job, changes going on in my family, but I don't lose heart because I already know that the inward man is being renewed. The inward man is being strengthened. The inward man is growing. The inward man is developing and being renewed every single day. And so, like you said, if you don't change, then you won't change, right? Then you won't change. Then you won't grow internally, right? And so, if I already have my mindset wrapped around the fact that, yeah, there's a lot of changes going on around me right now, but guess what? This is what I've been called to. I've been called to change. I've been called to grow. I've been called to develop, to shift. Like this is what I signed up for. And so when you're connected to God, when you're connected to the Lord, it's like, man, this is not unfamiliar territory, for me. And so I think number one, like you talked about, mindset. We got to wrap our mind to what's the mindset that we need to have. And then number two, I brought up about is that God stays the same in the midst of all of my change. God's the same. And then what we just piggyback off one another is that if I don't change, if then I won't change. Meaning that, hey,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to grow anyway. I'm supposed to be developing anyway. So what am I fussing about? What am I griping about?
And I think too, when you're able to look back on that process, you'll see that a wonderful change has come over me. What you know about that, Harp?
I like how you drop those little.
What you know about that?
Yeah.
Hey, they said I'm not what I used to be.
Come on, man. Come
Change.
on.
You
Thank
know,
God. Thank God. What I'm not what.
hey, come on, change. Man, I'm just glad he changed me. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not all that I want to be, but thank God I'm not what I used to be, huh?
Come
Yes.
on,
Yeah.
change.
Change, man.
And
You
so,
should
man, I
embrace
think,
it, man. You gotta
yeah,
embrace it.
yeah. You embrace it, and so, on the other side of that change, when you embrace the change, is that maximum growth.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah, is that maximum growth, and then, you can look back on that and be proud of that. That you embrace that change. That you
Nah, that's
held.
good. I
That you
look at
held.
you
Go
said
ahead.
what again? What did you say, Chip?
That you can be proud of that change. That you held firm to your core common principles.
Mm-hmm.
You knew who you are and whose you are,
Mm-hmm.
and you could be proud of that.
Yeah, yeah, that's good, man. Anytime, I think that's the last one right there, man. Is that um, I'm becoming a better version of myself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm becoming a better version when I go through it well, and I go through whatever the change is. I gotta realize that God is growing me, that I'm
Mm,
becoming a better version of myself. That the pain has a purpose. The difficulty, you know, is is making a determining impact on my life. Like it's like wow, I'm actually becoming someone that I didn't realize that I could become. And a lot of times we don't look at it that way. We don't look at uh, um, that suffering is the door into satisfaction. It's like we don't look at it that way. Like going through something is the door, is actually the way in which we are satisfied, in which we can have some, like, pain brings about peace. Pain brings about purpose. I think they call it growing pains, right? They call it growing pains because though you may be in pain, you're growing. It's like, yeah, it's painful, but you're growing, you're developing, you're becoming more than you used to be. You're becoming a better version of yourself. And so disappointment can bring about development. So it's like just understanding, like, this is all a part of I'm becoming a better version of myself in the process. And so I wouldn't, there's a verse that says, uh, I think it's in Psalms 119:71, where it says that he says, I'm grateful for the affliction. He said, I'm grateful for the affliction because if not for the affliction, I would not have learned your ways. Right. And so that, you know, man, affliction sometimes is necessary to get our attention. You know, pain brings about purpose. Disappointment brings about development. It's all about perspective. We talked about that before.
Yes.
Understanding that, yeah, it's difficult right now, but I'm becoming a better version of myself in the midst of all of this. And so whoever it is, if you're on the call and you're listening, man, what joy can you get from that? You know what I mean? That's why you can count it all
Mhm.
joy, because you're going somewhere. I can count my trial. Even though I'm going through trials and setbacks and changes and difficulties, I can count it all joy. Why? Because God is shaping me. He's molding me. He's developing me. I'm becoming a better version of myself. And so uh, I'm not just stuck in the here and now, right? That God is actually working all things together for my good. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I'm growing. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know if you know this shit, but my sister, she bakes cakes, right? And I don't know what she puts in them, man, but uh, it's
It's
serious,
good.
man. It's serious, doc. That's all I can say, man. But one time I got a chance. I got the privilege of getting some inside information, man, behind the scenes to how she bakes her cakes. And so I'm like, I want to see. I know what it tastes like. I want to see all the ingredients that you put in it. You know what I mean? And so as I'm watching her put all the ingredients in it, man, she's putting some some flour in it, and she's putting some sugar in it. She's putting some vanilla extract in it. I don't want to give all the secrets away, but but what I'm thinking to myself is that vanilla extract alone is not good. Sugar alone is not good, right? Eggs alone is not good. They're not good. But when you stir them all together and you mix them and you put them in the oven, or what I say, you put some adversity on them, right? And when it comes out, guess what? Even though everything in it wasn't good, when you stir it and you mix it and you work it all out, it comes out very good. It comes out good. And so I think that's what the verse means there when Romans 8, he says that I'm working all things out for your good. The promise was not that all things would be good, but all things would work out for your good. And so when all the changes that are going on in your life, when you're shifting to a new job, when you're transitioning to a new city, when you're getting into a new relationship, it's like, okay, let me settle down and realize that yeah, things may be a little difficult right now, and it may be an opportunity for me to get stressed out, for me to worry, for me to figure out how are these things gonna work out for my favor. You just have to settle and say to yourself, okay, everything may not be good, but everything is working out for my good, though. And so I think, man, just resting in that truth that, yeah, I may have gotten fired. Okay. Yeah, you got fired. Yeah, you got out of a relationship that you thought would last forever. Yeah, you got some news from your doctor that you didn't expect, right? But but let's get a larger vision, because we're finite people. Well, sometimes we have a limited perspective. We have a limited scope, and so we don't really see how all of this is playing out for my good. And so I just say, man, just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you'll see how God is connecting the dots in your life and how God is working it all out for your good. It's like, man, if I never went through uh that experience, if I never got fired, then I wouldn't be in the position that I am in today. If I didn't leave that relationship, then I wouldn't be able to know the joys of this beautiful relationship I get to enjoy today. Right? If I never went through that sickness, then I wouldn't have a comeback story to encourage someone else when they have their uncertain news from a doctor, right? And so I'm giving hope. I'm giving inspiration to those who are coming after me. And I think as individuals, that's what we must do. We got to honor those who come before us, and we have a responsibility to give hope to those that are coming after us. And so whoever it is, it's like, man, we gotta be able to understand that it's a larger picture. It's not just, don't get limited right here in the here and now, but have a larger vision of whatever you're going through and realize that it may not be all good. And I say that because you don't want to get overly positive. You don't want to say it's good when it's really not good. Just say, hey, it ain't good right now. But that doesn't mean that this is where it's always going to be. It may not be good now, but it's working together for my good. And so, yeah, man, we're growing, we're developing, we're changing, we're shifting. That's a key element to change, man.
Man, as usual, man, you almost made me pull out the pocket square, dog.
Where'd you get that from, dog?
hey, hey, it just happened to come up, man. You started talking, the pocket square just started to show up. Like, man, I'm looking at what, what? Hey,
man, I'm crying, man.
Man, hey, man, we had this Rubber Mac, man, growing up as a kid. Man, the doors of the church are open, and he used to be an athlete and the coach, so his fingers,
Yeah.
Doors of the church are open, boy. You took him to church, oh man, come on, man. So good. Seriously though, man, great message. Great lessons that I think that we can all take and apply in our life. And I'm gonna share this little nugget, and then I'm gonna get you off here. But I'm reading Disruptive Thinking by T.D. Jakes right now. An amazing book. And there was a quote, man, just yesterday that I read, and it said, "Disappointment is an equal opportunity employer."
That's good.
And so, as we're discussing the changes and the setbacks, basically, what you said, I mean, we're not immune from having tough things happen to us.
That's so good, man.
Man.
When we don't embrace that mindset, we think that we are a victim.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And
not the victor.
That's some instead of a victor, there's some kind of way that life is out to get us. You know what I mean? That life is targeting us, and they will say things like, life is not fair, or life is not being good to me. And I tell people all the time, man, life is not fair, nor is it unfair. Life is just life, man. And the
life
unfortunate life be lifing, man. Like we say, the unfortunate events that come to us, they visit all of us, man. They visit all of us. So it's not about what happens to you, but it's about what are you going to do about it? What kind of mindset are you going to have? How are you going to respond and not react whenever something comes into your life? And so just adopting that kind of mentality that I'm not a victim, that life is not targeting me, that life is not fair nor is it unfair, but life is just life, man. And the unfortunate events that are coming to me right now, guess what? They visit all of us at some point. At some point, disappointments will visit all of us. And so embracing that, I'm not a victim. And that it grounds you to say, okay, man, instead of asking the question, why is this happening to me? You ask a better question. You ask a better question. What can I do? What can I do right now? Yes, this is happening. Because when you say, man, why is this happening to me? It causes you just to say stuff. Like, why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
Like, man, this kind of stuff always happens to me. But then you ask yourself, man, you know what? What can I do right now? What resources do I have? What people do I have? Who do I have around me that can help me, that can challenge me, that can uh, go with me? And it's like it opens your mind to new opportunities and new avenues and new doors begin to open because you're not just stuck in the mindset of, man, this always happens to me. That I'm a victim. Like, no, man, you're not a victim. You're a victor. And I think what happens is that we lean more so into the fear, right, instead of our faith during those particular times. And so I would just tell anybody, I say, man, if you're going through a change, if you're going through a shifting in your life, instead of acknowledging fear, in the midst of change, start acknowledging God and watch Him direct your path. Watch Him direct your path. Instead of acknowledging fear in the midst of your change, start acknowledging your faith in God and watch Him direct your path. Because fear causes a person to be stuck, be paralyzed.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
they become stagnant. But if we say, man, God, I'm gonna rest in you right now. I don't know how this all gonna play out, but I'm just gonna rest in you. I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna be anchored in you, and just watch how God directs your path, how He brings the people into your life, how He brings situations start changing for you. People start calling you, emailing you, reaching out to you. How can we help you, Chip? How can we do this for you, man? And so what we don't realize is that God has resources that we don't have. He has this unlimited amount of resources. We think about our own resources
Yeah, it's
and
bigger
things of
than
that nature.
us.
Huh?
It's bigger than us.
It's bigger than us, man. It's bigger than us. And so when you just rest, you say, man, God got uh this unlimited amount of resources that's available to me because of my faith in God. I can rest. I can rest. I'm not acknowledging my fear. Stop going through life acknowledging your fear and start acknowledging your faith. Yeah.
I love it. Well, Hart, man, I love to, before we get out, man, for you to have an opportunity to share with the audience where they can go follow you, check you out, show you some love, man, with the things you got going on, brother.
Oh, definitely, man. So you can follow me on Instagram, Robert Harper II on Instagram. On Twitter, you can follow me there. It's Robert N. Harper. Facebook is Robert Harper II on Facebook. You can go to my website. You can follow me there as robertharper2.com. And so got some exciting things coming about in the future. We're doing another Live on Purpose event soon. And so I want people to be aware of that. We're going to do this in Houston, and it's always a great time. You've been a part of one of the Live on Purpose events, and just a collection of
Yes.
people and their different perspectives, and it's always something to where everybody leaves encouraged, you leave energized, and you leave ready to go after your purpose. And so it's a great event. I think not this last time, but the one before that, we did it virtually. The one you were a part of, we did
Yes,
virtually.
sir.
Yeah, yeah, but we're gonna be back in person, face to face. So I'll give you all the details, but look out for that. It's a great event. It's called Live on Purpose.
There it is. Hart, man, it's always a good time to hang out with you and talk life, man, and learn and grow together. And so I appreciate the fact that always open to do that with me, to hang out. But
100%
love
Chip.
what you do. Love what you do, man. Love what you're about. And I wish you continued success, my man.
Same here, Chip, man. Everybody knows this already, but I say it everywhere I go, and it's only a few people that I can say this about, that you are one of the most genuine people that I know. Period. Most authentic individuals that I know, man. And so it's always love. It's always an honor and a privilege and a treat to be able to just sit down with you and just chop it up, man. So appreciate you, man.
All right. Appreciate you. And thank you guys for checking out this hangout and highlight session, the topic session. We'll see you next time. God bless. Go get it.